Do. There we go. Chicken noodle levels, okay. Hey guys, Dante here, and welcome back to my channel, The Burger Thought. And welcome to another edition of Sunday Night Streaming. Just give me a moment as I double check all my audio, make sure everything's coming across clearly. Desktop might be a bit high. There we go. Let's see if that works a bit more. Gotta lower the background music. Once again, its music is Cleric Medieval Tavern Music, non-copyright, Volume 3, from Relaxation Harmony on YouTube. Does that sound better? Might be better. So what are we doing today? Today, we are doing some designing work for Clockwork Queen. I finally sat down and worked out a design for not the final boss per se, but the final stage. Essentially, the idea I had was, what if like you get to the evil castle? Let's say you get to the castle of the evil king, queen, wizard, whatever, and the castle itself just straight up stands up. So I want to design a kind of medieval mech. Like if someone took their old medieval castle and from the inside turned it into a giant robot. This is not really the final boss of the game, but rather what I'm drawing here is a representation of where you are fighting. The final stage of the game is meant to be you making your way up and inside and through the mech that is the giant wind-up monstrosity castle of the villains, the Vikings of the Horned Skull. So I finally decided to do a little a first pass. It's like a first rendition of, you know, kind of what I was envisioning for like the giant stone castle to look like walking around. I might do variations of it later, but I want to finally get this down on paper. So we're gonna ink that today. With that said, we may or may not be joined later on by Pretorius Rex, Joseph Tesserman, who himself is designing some cool video game concepts. So yeah, so we're gonna start on the regular screen. You see my face is in the corner over here on this side, and then later on we're probably gonna do hey intern. Later on we're probably gonna do kind of like a split screen. If he manages to jump on tonight, we shall see what happens. But for now, let's get into it. With I don't have a name for it yet, actually. It's just a giant wind-up castle made of like gears and springs and stuff. So let's we'll think of a name as we go along. Let's go. Okay. So I first, as usual, not as usual, but as I often do, I went ahead and did this in my sketchbook in non-photo blue. It's supposed to be like non-photographic blue. Basically very light blue, which is why it doesn't really come off in the scan as well as it should. 0.5. It's black. I mean, white. 0.5. Yeah, make it point. 0.3 too thin? Nah, too. Nah. 0.4. So it really is just like you get to the final stage and you're about to approach the castle. You're at the castle gates. You're about to approach it and suddenly the whole thing just straight up stands up and you realize the bad guys have gone ahead and created this monstrosity. A giant mechanical, it's a medieval mech. Best way to put it, medieval mech. Right? I have to scoot myself closer as I always do. The real pain was doing all the brickwork, like sketching out all these stupid little bricks. I'll be honest, I didn't really do much like visual research. I just sort of doing what I imagine, medieval towers and castles kind of look like. And then I went in there, I just looked up like a few Scottish, like what does an old Scottish castle look like? And I found like just a few details and like how the towers were. The towers were actually kind of angular, not spinning towers, like actual square rooftop towers in a way. So I just kind of mixed it up. Once again, this is my first pass at this guy, so I might redesign it altogether later on. He's gonna be a little lopsided. It's kind of the point of him. It's like if you ever watched like the old Transformer cartoon, like the origins of like the city formers. Was it Metroplex? Was he the city former? Or was it Fort Mac? No, correction. It was the bad guy. The freaking Godzilla looking dude. But the villain city former had the weirdest freaking origin. It's just like Decepticons went and just did a bunch of mechanical stuff to a pre-existing city on Earth, and the whole city just became a giant transformer. Like buildings just moved into each other, pipelines lifted. Like it just made no sense. But you know, what you gonna do? Based on an old toy line, for crying out loud. Doesn't have to be like realistic. Yes, it kind of looks like bricky, lopsided, with this giant metal skull sticking out from the main body piece. So I know it might be kind of hard to see, but he has like a main body, then he has like a tower here, a shoulder tower here. The main thing is I want to really mix it up, not just make it like a Mega Man villain with big bulky arms made of brick and then skinny wire arms. Like I want to make it look like it's shambling a little bit, like asymmetrical. I want to give it a little asymmetrical feel to it. Some messy cross hatching. Let's try that again. So let's start with saving as. Would I save this underneath props or characters? Let's say props for now. Alright. Yeah, everything's a little wonky, so that's okay. called giving it character. In other words, my lines are garbage. Nowhere near as clean as they should be professionally, but it gives it character. There we go. I was sitting awkwardly. Excuse me. you guys ever seen Mel Brooks' Young Frankenstein? What knockers! Such a cheesy joke. I love it. Give me a second. I'm just gonna close the I have open window. I want to close it. Got myself a snack. Orange snack goes a long way. don't realize how bad you are at drawing mechanics until you gotta rotate it. Then it's like, oh man, worse than flipping the canvas. Just random, like, shadowy pillars within the body. There we go. Little miscellaneous shapes and shadows in there. Oh, sorry, dude. I just saw you jump in. Um, almost set. Yeah, dude. So, let me first things first. Let me pause the audio on this right here. Okay. So, Mr. Testament, jump right in to Discord. In fact, you might be there already. I see someone's in there. There you are. Yeah, just give me a call on Discord. Like, I know there's different channels we could use and different accounts and stuff. Just, I guess, call me directly. Hey, intern. Everyone stand by. We're going to do a little shimmy and see if we can get a few things up and running. Okay, can you hear me, dude?
Yeah, dude.
Alright, everyone stand by. We're going to be doing some editing. So I guess, do you have your, like, do you have everything set up? Are you ready to, like, share screen? That way we can see what you're drawing?
Sort of. I just have to I just have to put on the light. I have everything in place. I just have to position the camera. I keep forgetting the back of the phone or the front of the phone is what.
Should be the front. That way you could see exactly what you're looking at.
Okay, I got it hooked on this.
Yeah, I have you loading on my end right now. So, to everyone who might be watching this in the future, when it saves up, Joseph Testament of Katorius Rex is right now joining us. He's gonna set up his end, and we're both just gonna work on video game designs. I'm continuing on the Castle Giant. I don't know what he's working on. When he gets set up, we will see it.
Okay.
So I'm gonna jump into my settings and see if I could. Where is my drawing share? There we go. Okay. There we go. Alright, so there's my window.
What happened?
No, I'm talking to just talking out loud, thinking out loud. That is, I got my window up. Let me see. Why can't I see?
Take off your glasses.
Are you recording already or not? Visually, I mean.
I got the phone on, but I don't know. Am I going straight through Streamlabs?
No, basically you're on Discord. I'm on the Discord website and I have a blank screen. I think I know why. Stand by. Why can't I see you, Joe?
You don't want to see me. I think that's the reason.
video. Why can't I see you? For some reason, so it's in the stream. I, for whatever reason, just cannot. I have too many windows open. I got too many windows open, people. That's the issue. How come I can't see you, Joe? Yeah, for some reason the video's not going through. Turn off. Can you turn off your camera and turn it back on? Just hit camera off and camera on.
Okay, let me take it off for now. Can't, okay,
Never mind,
seeing anything right now?
stand by. There we go. Yes. 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 Yes.
Might, hold on.
Alright. So yeah, just set up your camera, and I'll set it up on my end as well.
Trying to flip the screen around.
Oh. You still there with us?
Yeah.
Okay. I heard a bloop as if you hung up. That was weird.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. I don't know how to flip the screen around. Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay. Don't worry. Okay.
I see your fingers. There you go. Okay.
Yeah, but which one?
Let's see if I could get you Streamlabs Google Chrome tab.
Am I coming in at all?
Sorry, give me a second. Yes. So I could see. Okay, good. Now I just gotta make sure the stream could see it as well. Okay.
Can you see this monstrosity?
Let's see what we got here. Window capture.
Now we'll click on the details.
All right. Okay. Let's see.
Let me get lower.
Hold on. Let me just make sure you're coming across on my end. Say hello, Joe. All right. So it looks like, so I can see my screen. It is active. I see your screen. But since you're not, are you still there with us, Joe?
Oh yeah, yeah, I'm still here. I'm just bringing up the main page so that way, I can see what I'm doing. Give me some connectivity tonight, please. Baby,
Okay.
baby, please. Anything coming through?
It's a little hard to hear you, but it could be an issue on my end.
Might not be my.
By the way, if I'm responding late, it's because I'm watching the main stream. So whatever you're saying, I'm hearing like after the fact.
Oh, like a delayed time.
Okay, let me switch around for a minute. Okay. Joe, do me a favor.
What's up?
Wiggle your hand in front of the camera. Alright, good. Alright, now let's give me a moment. Let's see if it shows up on stream nice and clearly. Just stand by. Awesome, dude. Your volume's a little low. So your volume's your volume is a little low on the stream, but we could hear you and we could see your table.
All right.
You might just want to lift your paper a little higher. Essentially, the
Wait a minute. Hold on. I think I know what to do. That better? Or you want me to lower the camera?
Yeah, tilt the camera lower, cause that purple ruler. No, not lower to the table. Like that. Perfect. That is
Better?
Yeah. The purple ruler. If you bring your drawing board up to that purple ruler a little bit. Bring it up.
Okay.
Just raise it and I'll tell you when to stop.
Hold on. Let me get my.
Look at the mess Joe has, everyone, and his table's full of books and everything.
The rest of my place. You should see the rest of my place. Looks like a freaking monsoon hit this place, or a tornado.
I've had a few sneak peeks at my
We're okay?
Yeah, the bottom of your drawing pad is getting a little cut off. Like if you were to tilt the camera even further, you would get it would be perfectly centered at that point.
Hold on.
Ooh, back a little bit. I can see your crotch.
Yeah, that's.
Right.
I'm not running an OnlyFans over here. How about
Okay.
that?
You are centered perfectly right there.
Work. Nice. Very, very nice. Oh, I got my main tool here under the table. Okay, backed by unpopular demand. All right, I got the actual stream up. I'm gonna mute this just so that I see the thing. To see if I'm coming in. Nope. Unmute. No, mute. Okay.
Perfect. I raised the volume a bit more so people can hear you nice and clearly.
If you know what's good for you, you don't want to hear me at all.
Yep. Oop, I have to adjust one thing on my end. Sorry, give me a second.
Very, very good. All right.
There we go. Perfect. Okay.
I don't know. What do you think I should do tonight?
Well, like I said, I am drawing. I'm working on Clockwork Queen, so if you want to just draw some random, like I suggested some random baddies for your video game, if you want to focus on that.
Oh, the perfect names for those ones, the stickies or sticky wikis.
Sticky wikis. All right, go for it.
Why not? I figured. Also, I had this before. I wasn't sure what to do with, but what do you think of this as sort of like a hairdryer type of henchman?
I mean, if the face is meant to be like solid metal, like it's always in an open position, it makes sense. Like he would shoot like hot air. You know what you could do? You know how the old-fashioned hairdryers, not even old-fashioned, but most hairdryers have essentially a snail-like body. It's a tube with a round engine. So his back, like if he was sideways, his back would be the giant round engine, like it's built into him, and then his face is just a solid metal like grate that shoots out the heat.
That's true. I mean, so basically have it like this,
No, like
or or just do a like the circle bit with the that
I
goes to the center.
I like it more like Well, you said you're not looking at the stream right now, correct?
I'm sort of looking at the stream right now, but it's kind of I don't know, for some reason it's kind of stopping on my end. Is it okay on your end?
Let me see. Seems okay. Vocally, you're fine. Visually, I'm moving around. Um,
We're okay?
Give me a second. I'm waiting to see whether or not I just saw your hands move on the stream. Cause the main thing is whether or not your video is coming in. Yeah, you're coming in fine, dude.
Okay.
So what I mean is like, so imagine a hairdryer being viewed sideways. Like you have the big round, you have the handle, the big almost donut round piece, and then you have the straight away. That's the nozzle.
Yeah.
So imagine like, keep everything you just drew, but if he was sideways, his back is the round piece, and his face is just like a metal grate that just shoots heat out of it. I don't know, just an idea, dude. Start drawing, draw something new or do some inking. Just jump into it and see where it goes, man.
All right. I figured. Well, I mean, you're doing your castle tower or castle king guy. I have something similar, but it's it's like a essentially there's one final there's one boss that you're in a sea among hair, but then this giant mound of hair into like this giant behemoth that's disguised as the terrain actually comes out, and he controls the terrain as well.
Oh, I love it when like foreground reveals like when background is revealed to be like actual foreground characters. Like I love like little things. It just brings you more into the game, brings you more into the environment. Oh, so
I kind of based it a little bit on Baby Bowser from Yoshi's Island, where you'd see him in the background, but he's using the hair to like attack you from the bottom and from the top.
So here's the thing. Don't forget, I never had Super Nintendo, right? So was Baby Bowser always Baby Bowser, or was that like the first interpretation of Bowser Jr.?
That was the first interpretation of him.
Of Bowser Jr. or just a different character altogether?
Well, yeah, I know it's kind of weird, but well, continuity has kind of gone out the window.
That's what I mean. Like old characters get revamped, but Baby Bowser is not Bowser Jr. It's a different design, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a different design. All right. I was thinking of the character I was telling you, Dark Root.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a whole. I'm thinking of him as the concept for like the third. I guess you could call the third installment, like Big Baddie.
Okay.
Like first it's Follicula, then it's Dandra, then it's Darkroot.
Oh, for anyone wondering what the heck Joe's talking about, Joe, tell us the bare bones. Like, what is the theme of your game concept?
It's hair.
Long, beautiful hair.
And it's one big heap of follicular fun.
just hair puns everywhere.
Oh yeah, forget it. We this is,
If you thought Super Meat Boy was kind of disgusting, just wait. Just wait.
Yeah. I was thinking of also something as well, like the what was it? Follicula's like big form would be like the all-terrain hair, but It would
What's
be
it?
these
What's
creatures.
all-terrain hair? What is that exactly?
Well, it, it's it, it's hair. It's hair, and it's a character that takes up the
Oh,
whole
okay.
length.
Could you say all-terrain hair? I think of like, is it a car? Like, what exactly is all-terrain hair?
And the fact that this hair can basically do anything. Maybe I can incorporate this into Dark Root.
Oh, I like
You
the
know?
arms. The arms already have kind of like the. I know they're meant to be spikes, but they kind of give me like Sasquatch kind of arms, whooshing back in the wind. The hairy arms, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's supposed to be like the warped mirror image of our of one of our heroes.
Oh, the just
You
of
know?
the protagonist, yeah.
Yeah, and it's supposed to be not necessarily a clone, but part of like a disturbed like aspect of Langley's psyche that Dandra kind of caught like a hold of before she was destroyed.
Hmm. Now, mind you, you're
At the end
telling
of
me, like I said, this is your showcase. You're telling me all of this, but if I had no idea who you're talking about, who is this Dandra? Who is Langley, Joe? Tell us more about them.
Langley, Langley Lightstash, one of the long descendant of a long line of protectors of a a crystal that essentially controls and controls and manipulates everything with hair and follicles.
The
And
the MacGuffin of the story, pretty much.
yeah, and the thing is, this particular well, it's called the follicris.
Hmm.
Is a piece of, well, to go back even further. Actually, I have part of it written down. I can recite some of it if you want.
Well, but just like, don't give me the full. Don't well, you could give me the full lore, but like, give me the elevator pitch for those of you, for the people who might tune in a bit to watch this. They're like, what is the elevator pitch of the story? If you gave the elevator pitch of Mario, you'll be like, princess captured by a dragon, main character goes through pipes like a plumber and fights turtles. That's like the elevator pitch. So what's the elevator pitch of this?
Essentially, the main villain, Follicula.
Which, by the way, I freaking love the name. By the way.
It's like a hair vampire.
Yeah, it's freaking. I love it. It's so weird, but it's oh man. Hey, sorry, keep going.
It sounds like something forbidden and dirty, but it's actually kind of.
It sounds
But,
like a failed cereal product.
Not only that, but it sounds like it sounds like, remember that movie Caligula?
Yeah. Oh no, Joe.
You know how messed up that movie was, but
But now with
Caligula,
hair.
yeah. I mean, but he essentially steals the follicris and starts manipulating and turning even some of his closest friends into his enemies and into Follicula's minions. And essentially Langley has to be on a quest to get it back before everything is completely, corrupted. And we don't know this yet, but Follicula actually will unknowingly bring back bring back Dandra, who was vanquished by her mother, Cynthia.
Is that for like a
The
sequel
sequel.
concept? Is that for like a sequel concept? Or is that
Yeah.
like, huh?
Yeah.
I like that. Like, like you do a little bit, just enough lore to give you like a little bit of like a to give you more to work with in the future.
Well, because she was, uh, Cynthia is kind of mix of two names from uh, Norse and Greek mythology, um, who was the goddess of hair and beauty.
Oh, okay.
Sif, Sif was of the Norse legends, and Thea was of the Greek legends. So, Cynthia, I had her make a little joke uh, in the game when she's speaking to Langley, and essentially she was like, "Oh well, I couldn't find it in my heart to contradict either of them, so either
A little bit
cultures."
of column A, a little bit of column B.
Yeah, yeah, it's all the same though. But then uh, her her but her daughter, who's like actually unlike her mother, who is completely flawless. Her hair is flawless. Her hers is mostly like damaged and
Got knots in
has
it.
like the brittle hair and things like that because her her father is actually was actually a I don't know whether or not to make him a Viking soldier with with messed up hair or like just bad hair in the family.
So this is once
And
again this part of the storyline that would extend over to like the sequels if you ever get to a sequel point.
yeah,
Right.
yeah, I mean you have a whole thing where you have a whole thing where
What you drawing as you're doing? As you're talking, what you
we-
drawing, man?
it has from one antagonist to the other.
Okay. So what you working on? Just what do you think is coming to your
Um,
mind right now?
Hold on. Like I said, this is essentially like Langley's warped image. He was unknowingly when he gets caught in one of her traps, Dandra's traps in the second one, and unknowingly like there's like a hall of like mirrors and things like that. There's one mirror of like reversal mirror where the person sees his faults, his fears, his weaknesses, and those weaknesses then come out of the mirror and become a reality.
I've always on a topic of video games. So I have nowhere really to put it into the storyline. It might be like a fun little Easter egg or something. But I've always wanted to do this thing for my live action Mario concept. And for those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, when you're watching this later on, just for like, what the heck's going on with my freaking pen? Give me a second, sorry. There we go. Just for like, kind of like writing practice, and Joe knows this already.
Yeah.
I started writing like a Mario script with the idea of like if it was live action, how would I write this script? What would be like the key points? I envision it live action and then I start writing the script, right? So anyway, with that being said, there's a point I want to put into it where Mario's getting a tour of the castle by Peach. And fun fact, in the script I've written, obviously they have history books and they have like actual teachers and everything, but a way to document major events in history, paintings are made. So basically she's giving a tour of the castle and walking past these beautiful paintings, each one representing like a momentous occasion within the kingdom, which is meant to be a nod to Mario 64 where the paintings are like the worlds. But anyway, I want to have this part where they walk past a hall of mirrors, and Peach is just talking about like the magic that exists in the land, and Mario's like, oh, we don't got magic in our world, blah blah blah. And then eventually, like, as like a throwaway gag, I want like one of the dozens of mirrors in this room. Like, if it was like it's an Easter egg, the idea would be when he's walking by, you essentially see himself, but it's obviously Wario. Like, it's the same. It's the actor playing Mario, but he's dressed as Wario in one of the mirrors.
Well, it's kind of like that one. I don't know if you remember Scooby-Doo and the Ghoul School, where Shaggy passes in front of a mirror, and he sees his evil twin, and the twin actually pulls him in.
Oh yeah, yeah. Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
So it's so obviously it's not like a groundbreaking idea. It's not something new, obviously. But I always wanted to have that. Like, if I ever find a way to write in the script that they're walking past a bunch of magic or suggested magic mirrors, that in the movie you would get that Easter egg. Like, someone would spot it. Because I like putting, like, I think the idea of, like, little Easter eggs in your movies, as long as they're not, like, detracting from what's going on in the film, they're fun.
I mean, and as long as they're not, like blatant rip-offs,
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so unlike Langley, this guy is just like a lot like greasier, a lot.
I like that. He's a greasy bastard. He's a horrible person.
A lot more tangled, a lot more,
just messy looking. Like he could probably look just like the main character, but just have like just hair that's all screwy.
I think, and this is no pun intended, but more untamed.
Actually, that's a perfect way to describe it then. Yeah. So here's the thing, though. So you're drawing this guy right now as a shadow image. I think I've only seen one, like maybe one basic concept image you did of Langley. So I don't know exactly what he looks like.
Somewhere, but as usual, I can't really find him.
Why do I feel like when I remember seeing it, I feel like he had like a Mega Man feel to him. Wasn't he like kind of stocky with like armor?
Well, he had stocky, like just a little bit of a gut. Imagine like I don't know, you'd have one of those skinny guys, but still with like a bit of a gut to him.
The semi kind of like a beer belly kind of thing going on.
Yeah, sort of something along the line of that. He might be in here. I'm not.
Well, you find it when you find him. Keep drawing, man. I want to see what you come up with.
All right. Let me see. How is it coming in? All right.
Oh yeah, the stream is coming in clear. I have it on Twitch right now. You are coming in crystal clear.
Okay.
Essentially, to make it work on my computer, I had to not minimize. Not when you minimize, but when you shrink a screen down enough where you could share the desktop space with another screen.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing with you. Like I shrank down my drawing program. It's on one side of my desktop. While Discord is on the other. So as far as the computer knows, I'm watching both myself and you, and because the computer thinks I'm doing that, or rather I am technically, then Streamlabs is actively taking information from both ends. Because if I was just to minimize one window, even though it's still active in the background, Streamlabs wouldn't pick it up. At least that's what I've noticed anyway.
Okay, all right.
Just a weird technique.
Yeah, so this is essentially would be my thing for him, where he has almost kind of like a warlock type of look to him with like the beard, but it's covering most of his face except his lips.
Oh, just a really bushy. So I like the idea that he has like a Sentai, kind of Japanese Sentai helmet, but then he just has this big freaking like bluegrass beard sticking out of it. I love it.
Well, yeah, I mean it's like I said, this is my first time actually drawing um, Dark Root.
Yeah. It kind
Yeah,
of
so it's
work. I
kind
mean,
of
it does work because if the main character is sleek and essentially, let's imagine like a Mega Man helmet. Like he's sleek, he has a Mega Man helmet, but then the other guy has the exact same helmet, but it's just this big bushy beard sticking out of it. It also visually looks really interesting and funny.
and plus, I think it would be good. It'd be good for the mechanics for him being the main antagonist in one of the later games, because um, I mean, a person who knows your every weakness, your every flaw, your everything you've ever been doubtful of, because that's him.
Every. I mean, it's it's a little bit of the Venom symbiote kind of feel. I mean, heck, Shovel Knight. So in the game Shovel Knight, whenever when I was watching some guys play it, there is a character who is he's not meant to be the exact opposite of Shovel Knight, but he's close enough. Like he's obviously a rival of Shovel Knight, and I love Shovel Knight because its story is so basic, but you can still follow it, and you obviously see that like the guy's not a villain, but he's envious of Shovel Knight. I think from at least what I got from it when I was watching some guys play it online, this character, I think the idea is that he was probably in love with Shield Maiden or Shield Knight, the other character in the game. And I think he blamed Shovel Knight for her for her not being there. So like it's basic kind of like mirror image. Doesn't have to be exact mirror image, but close enough. Venom is just like that. He's not the exact opposite of Spider-Man.
I mean, kind of like Mega Man and Proto Man.
Yeah, exactly. It's just opposite enough.
That's why I thought they missed a good opportunity in the new Lightyear film. When
no spoilers, dude. I haven't seen it, and people might not have seen it either.
But I mean, I'm just gonna tell you what I think they should have done.
Well, you put up a bunch of stuff, but once again, I haven't seen it, so I have no context. Like I have no context as to like what they did and didn't do. So
No,
I'm sorry, dude.
I'm just kind of what they did with Zurg.
He should have been his father. I don't know.
No, he should have been like a dastardly rogue version of him from another universe.
No, I mean, I don't know. Could that just could then you read like we had this conversation before. They had the alternate version of him in the cartoon. Zurg is meant to be a warlord, Zurg's meant to be a warlord that he has to stop, not necessarily. I don't know, man. Then again, we're discussing what they could have done with a character who barely had a characteristic to begin with. Like he was a joke character, and even in the original like movies, he's not really meant to be. He could be any. He could. The thing is this: he could be anything because quite literally he wasn't anything in the original storylines. That's what it comes down to.
Well, I mean, definitely to Andy.
Not even to Andy. Yeah. You say to Andy, but it wasn't like he was. Let me put it this way: when we do get Zurg in the movies, he's still just like a toy cartoon character. He's just there's more character to him in the actual cartoon than there was in the movies because they had to make a character for him. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, that's why I was so like kind of taken aback with like the clunkiness of in the Lightyear version. And
What? Like I said, I haven't seen it, so let's not talk about spoilers right now, okay? My mom wants to go see it. My mom wants me to go see it. I'm like, okay, fine. Well, we'll take the granddaughter, not my kid, by the way, in case anyone's wondering. My niece. We'll take my niece.
Yeah, it was spring in Philadelphia, and I was so young I didn't know what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, we're all like that on my father's side.
So are the shoulders, at least for this guy, are the shoulders spiked armor, or is it also like hairy shoulders sticking out? Is he wearing like a vest, but his arms are showing? Is that what it is?
It's kind of almost like a black ichor, like crystal, like shield thing that almost fuses into the hair, or the hair actually grows from
Okay,
the
but once again, so is he wearing like a vest and he has exposed arms and the arms are becoming armor-like because of that? Or is it an actual
No.
secondary piece?
This is the centerpiece is a secondary piece.
No, the shoulders, the
rest of it,
shoulders. The spikes off the shoulders.
yeah, it's a secondary piece from the actual chest plate.
Alright, never mind. Okay, never mind. Keep going. Yeah, on my end, so I'm doing the stone castle, and it's just like the castle's barely holding together, but I wanted to show that this castle that belongs to the villains of my game, it's not pristine. Like it has like wood sticking out of it and like wood spikes.
Kind of like Dracula's castle from.
Yeah, but Dracula's castle was all stone. This thing is literally like held together with like wooden pikes. And like it's a mix mash. It's a mix mash.
Dude, have you seen the? Did you see the 1992 version with Gary Oldman and Keanu Reeves?
Yeah, I mean the castle's creepy as hell, but it's still like, or is it crumbling or is it?
Apart. I mean, you see like ruins essentially.
Oh, you are right about that. You are right about that.
And everything's like patched up, like you know. Like it was done by like Z Crew Construction or something like that, you know? It's like, fuck. Doing too bad here. Okay.
There we go.
So you're making this this guy walk?
What do you mean? Like he has legs? But essentially, like if he was to show up in the video game, when he or actually when it does show up in the video game, it's kind of like animating a still image where it's like it's one giant image, but like maybe the head is bobbing back and forth. It's like a reveal. The thing just appears over the mountainside, and then the actual game begins. So he has legs. He has it's humanoid, arms and legs, but you're never gonna actually see it like in motion. You see it, and then it zooms in on like a part of it, and then suddenly that's the stage. Like the stage itself, we broke up into sections. So first you're climbing his leg, which is a spiraling tower, which I think one of the Castlevania games did, where you're walking up a spinning tower. So like
They did something like that in the book called Amulet. I've actually got an image over here.
what the
You want to take a look at it?
Not later. But like, what do you mean, like the spinning tower or a giant robot?
Yeah, a moving castle, like
Oh.
like a little thing.
Let me see. How old's that story? I feel like I see that's cool, but that is much more pristine than my character. See, that looks like that looks like it was built for the purpose of becoming a robot. My character's more like they made the castle and then they started putting pistons inside of it.
They're like, yeah. Who knows? We might need to move someday.
Yeah. So like that, which by the way looks awesome. And once again, this not. It's hard to make absolutely positively brand new stuff. The best you can do is put your own spin on it. Mine is a shambling character. In fact, mine looks more like a skeleton, to be honest, which I kind of like now that I look at it.
Yeah, with like bones, wood protruding out of it.
Yeah. Was Amulet an independent story? It looks like it was. Like, when did that come out?
I think this was released through Scholastic, and this is book 1.
Oh, it's like an ongoing series, not just like a one shot.
Yeah, 2008.
Oh wow.
And the first volume is like this thick, and there are several volumes afterwards that are like thicker. But it's Amulet by Kazu.
I'm gonna be honest. The artwork, it's definitely not bad. Cause that freaking page you just showed me was awesome. But looking at the basic character designs, it does have like an indie feel to it, like something that would see like on a website. I don't know how. Basically, like it's not Japanese anime. It's not American style. It's like, you know, someone just did their own thing, and no one bothered. It feels like no one bothered them when they were doing it.
Well, these days you have to.
Yep.
Because you don't know what's going to be popular. You don't know what's going to come like best down the road. But,
Oh yeah.
You know, it's just...
Dang it! I keep double tapping P on my keyboard, and because of that, it switches from the pen tool I'm using to the pencil tool every time. It's like I always do that. I'm stupid.
It happens. It's habit. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Oh.
You know what it is? So I press P to draw. I press E to erase. But if you press R, it's free rotation of the screen. You know, like in Clip Studio, there's the rotation option underneath the navigator. If you press R and move your mouse, it navigates. But pressing R doesn't undo pressing P. So like if I press P and then I press E to erase, I gotta press P again to draw again. But if I'm pressing P and then press R to rotate, I'm still using P. But if I end up pressing it again and it keeps switching it from it basically, it's a key command that doesn't act like other key commands. Okay, you're not actually switching out.
So it doesn't follow commands.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. Damn it, rotate key command. You're a loose cannon, but you get the job done.
That's it.
I don't know if the mic's picking it up, but there is some family jibber jabbering in the backyard across from me, and I can hear them in my house. I don't know if you guys can hear them on the freaking stream though.
Don't worry about it. I got those kind of jerks in my neighborhood too.
So you were mentioning, what program were you mentioning earlier that apparently is good for a split screen? Wasn't Streamlabs? What was it? Huh?
StreamYard?
StreamYard. Okay, yeah. I hear about that. I've just never. Yeah, I've never used it, so I'm not sure what it's good for. I mean, what we're doing right now is working. It's just a bit cumbersome because, like I said, I'm drawing on half a screen, but it's doable. It's doable, you know.
Yeah.
I said it once and I'll say it again. I am no good at drawing like mech, like mechanical stuff.
No, you're doing okay.
Give me a second. I want to see if I can zoom in on your artwork better. Let's see. I want people to be. I want people. I'm stuttering like crazy. I want people to be able to see your work better. So I'm zooming in. Right there. Much better. There we go. I zoomed in on the on our Discord screen.
Okay.
So they have a much better view of what you're doing. There we go. Okay, back to it. And come on. Back to it. There we go. Yeah, much better. That works a lot better on the stream. Okay. Not fancy, not pretty, but it works.
Is it 10 o'clock?
Oh, yep, 10 o'clock.
Stay on here a little bit longer and then I gotta go into work tomorrow.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah.
I turned off my 10:30 alarm because I figured if you were going to join a little later, we might end up going past 10:30. So I wanted to, like, set the alarm so it wouldn't ring midway through the stream.
probably go over better with this with pen and ink for the hair textures.
Like I said, I really do like the Mega Man S look, but in the end, it's mainly because his freaking his shoulders and like his shoulders and biceps are bare. So it's like Mega Man with it's Mega Man without the light blue armor, so it's just hairy chest and hairy arms, but freaking gauntlets.
Yeah, and I don't know whether or not to have like the hair, like him just. You don't know whether he's completely made of hair and crystal, or if he's actual, or if there's an actual human under there.
Oh, the villain that is. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Like they give the semblance of human hands, but imagine being like bound by like just hair, and at one point, like maybe his fingers can split into two on their own, so it'd be like 10 fingers,
Ugh.
and be able to
Why,
do
Joe?
like
Why? What's the point of that?
it doesn't have to have a point. It's video games. I don't know whether to have this make this guy have calf implants or what. Because I don't think I'm gonna make this guy an exact mirror image of him.
No, just enough.
Almost like
Just a few visual keys to let people know that there's some kind of link between them.
I wish I had the freaking picture here. I do. I just gotta dig to find it. You have like a two-toed, like samurai type of thing for his feet.
Yeah, I forget the name of those kind of shoes.
That's like a samurai ninja toe type of thing. I mean, I think that's why the turtles were such a. I mean, it was a thing for them to be ninjas because they had the two-toe type of thing.
It was already built into them.
Yeah, and then you had what was it? Tim Drake's Robin, who when he was finally like I guess you could say graduated to become Robin, he had a whole. I mean, it was more utilitarian and a lot more I don't know. I guess you could take it more seriously than the pixie shoes and the.
I forget. Was there ever a Robin that wore shorts? Was it him that wore the shorts or no? Am I just imagining drawings of that?
Uh, it was tights and he had the trunks. I
Say
suppose the
shorts.
question.
You say trunks. He was wearing shorts. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it went all the way back to 1930 39 with the. No, I'm sorry, 1940 with Dick Grayson.
Well, at one point he was. At one point, I've seen pictures of a Robin wearing like shorts. Um, like a spot in between the pixie and everything. But I couldn't tell if that was fan art or an actual comic like rendition.
Well, they had one where like Jason had a completely different look to it, but this was the whole thing where it was kind of getting confusing with the multiverse, and that's why they had to go with like Crisis to clear everything up.
Mm-hmm.
Like there were actually two origins of Jason, and Jason originally had blonde hair,
Okay, that's new.
but he dyed it black every time he went,
Oh, I was unaware
every
of that.
time he went on. Yeah, it was a really weird. I used to have the complete like history of Dark Knight. I lent it to somebody, but then
Which reminds me, I still have so the comics that my coworker gave me. A lot of them are Swamp Thing and Green Lantern. I still have those. If you want to definitely take a look at them, dude.
yeah, no shit. I definitely would take a look.
Because I know for sure you'll either take them yourself or find a good home for them. Because I have nowhere to put them, and I already have a long list of stuff I still need to finish reading. So
Yeah, I know. So spool like hair covering his like top of his legs with like a split down the middle for like a crystallized like kneecap, and then it goes over to like we're not sure if he's gonna have two toes, but I mean I like the way these feet are coming out actually.
okay.
Because I was thinking with Langley, him, as almost like a British nobleman type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You have those pointed shoes, you know, and when he's activating, by scratching his like mustache, like he thinks in that regard, British culture, British attire, you know.
Ooh, I lost you for a minute there. You still with us, Joe? I lost the audio on you. You see, well, we can still see him drawing, but I for one cannot hear Joe. I don't think anyone else can hear him. Joe, you with us?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah, for
Just
some
stop
reason, like
talking.
as you were talking, it just like faded away. Like it just kind of buzzed out and faded away for a minute.
I think that was me that was fading away. Sorry.
Stick with us, Joe. The world needs you.
It's your genius. You
Nah, I
need to
wouldn't go that
unleash
far.
it and set it free. This isn't looking bad so
I like him. He has a definite stocky feel to him. I like him. Like
Yeah.
because you give him such like heavy like lower area, the boots and everything. I'm imagining like really fun like the idea is that it's gonna be like a video game character as a side scroller. I'm imagining like how you animate him running, like that kind of comical running where your arms are just swinging in the air and your legs are just like stomping as you
No,
go.
that's Langley. I've got him where I think it's more of his like powers, the
Yeah.
hair powers, because he let the follicle like and the hair do the work. like what he's doing now with the palm of his hand.
Mm-hmm.
Like he'd actually go like this, and like the roots, the hair would actually like push him forward, and almost like a snake kind of slither.
Ew. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Disgusting. I know.
But basically, he has higher speed. Like he has a different speed than what the main character has. That's what it comes down to.
Oh yeah, what he was aware of, what what Langley's like hesitant about doing and going full force, this guy isn't. I guess it's kind of like I guess you could do the thing with the like Anakin and Vader, where Anakin would pull his punches, Vader wouldn't. This is not too bad as a preliminary sketch. I mean, I was kind of worried what the hell I was gonna do with him, you know.
Yeah, it looks pretty good to me so far, man.
I was thinking maybe even at one point, like that him and Langley become locked, and you just see you just see like them as one singular being at one point, kind of like tearing itself apart, you know?
Like the climax of a video game at some point, right?
Yeah. Yeah, Follicula, I still don't know what I would do. I mean, I don't want him to be like.
I mean, given the name, you could lean towards the vampire aspect. You know, give him Bram Stoker straight long. I say Bram Stoker. More like Keanu Reeves himself. Just straight long black hair that drapes down and like maybe becomes his cape. And then that's how he makes the bat wings and everything. Like, you know, if you're gonna go vampire, you know?
Yeah. I mean, and then you know you see like a little bit, almost like I wouldn't say a Wolfman type of thing to it, but you would see the fangs, you would see like the point of the nose, like that the hair is actually making the point of the nose.
You got the insane widow's peak that just keeps on going.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, so far I got the main torso. So I got the main torso, I got the shoulders, I got the head, and the head is literally just a giant metal skull that's like sitting inside the castle itself. I just got to keep. Huh? What was that?
Nice. I mean, it would be. I kind of picture him like, you know, the hands going over the parapets.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. So I made one. He has one giant robot hand, but the other one's gonna be like a tower that has like a drill at the end of it, like a pointed, like an actual pointed castle tower. Oh, and once again, this, you know, just like what you're doing right now, this is like a first pass at it. We'll see what changes I'll do as I go along.
I mean, you know, for a sequel, you have a thing where, you know, the castle blows up, but like that head just like fires right off into like space or something.
It'll make for like a good visual for like on all the stages. It's just in the background, pulling a Unicron, just chilling out.
Yeah. I mean, kind of like Robotnik's Egomatic hovercraft. Like
Yeah,
it
yeah.
just comes out of the robot and just flies. I hope they do a Sonic 3.
Well, the rumor was I keep hearing rumors. I don't know if it's fans that are just that are lying about it, or the actual rumors that they're going to make a third one.
Well,
You know what I think it is? I think what it is that I've been seeing a lot of fan art, and some of it's fan art that's obvious, and some of it is like, really good edits, like visual edits, where they're like, this is how it would look like if you had Rouge in it, because everyone loves freaking Rouge or Shadow. No, didn't okay. So I didn't see the movie, but they did. I've heard that they did hint that Shadow was supposed to be in it, right? And the next one.
They did. It's an end. It's an ending.
Okay, so they have a setup. They have a setup. It doesn't mean they're going to do it, but they have a setup.
But the version they have of it, I didn't really like that version. I mean, I like the original version of Shadow, where it was just like a dark silhouette. I mean, I kind of hated the newer version where it's like purple inlay, and I'm like, really? I'm like, if you're gonna go like Shadow, I'm like, come on.
Give him a gun. Oh God, remember that? I remember when that first showed up on covers. People were like, "Why he has a gun?" Like even the hardcore fans were like, "That's kind of stupid."
Yeah, I mean, it kind of negates the whole.
Gotta go fast, but can you go faster than a bullet?
That's it. Yeah. I hated that slogan. Gotta go fast. I'm like, really?
Yeah. I mean, it to be, and in the end, well, think of it this way: at the end, that slogan did define a particular generation of Sonic fans. Like, it's hard to imagine a generation of Sonic fans who didn't grow up with that as like the slogan of the character.
No, my favorite slogan, he's like, I've got the need for speed, and there was another one where I think there was a monster that was trying to eat him, and he's like, there's one thing you should know about me. He's like, there's food, there's fast food, and then there's too fast to be food.
Ooh, I like that. That's nice. That's cool.
And then he just keeps doing the step until because it's a slime creature, and he just runs on the slime creature until it's like a puddle, and then he just like runs away. I think that was when they were at the space station, where it gets abandoned, and the Scratch and Grounder are there, and I think.
Oh, this was this oh yeah, it figures this is not Sad AM. This is the other one. Yeah.
Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
I mean, it was funny. Like, he's angry, but like he has humor mixed with like evil. I mean, where he says, "But how are we supposed to get home?" He's like, "Who cares?" He's like, "Now that I've got rid of the hedgehog, I don't need you anymore." And he's like, "But," he's like, "You can't do this to us." He's like, "Yeah, we've been together too long." He's like, he's like, "You lost control of, you lost my rocket ship. You made the hedgehog ruin my plan." He's like, "And now you're running up my long distance bill." He's like, it's just like, oh God, it was funny.
You know,
Long John Baldry.
Not even out of nostalgia, but just out of like, as a fun Easter egg. I'm like, come on, you could have had Jaleel White do a cameo at some point. Like this, the second movie takes place. It has everyone jokes about the second movie, saying like, yeah, there's two parts of the second movie. There's Sonic the Hedgehog, and then there's the freaking wedding sequence. And I was like, man, if you had Jaleel White as like the pastor at the wedding, that would have freaking been hysterical.
I'm sorry, Jaleel White was Sonic.
He was good at it.
I don't care what
I
anybody
love,
says. I mean, you could say, "Oh yeah, this guy's," like I'm like, no. I did like that whole thing where he was making fun of Robotnik's new look.
In the new movie.
Yeah, he says.
I hate to say I have not seen either of the movies, but people tell me, yeah, they did good. They're not like Shakespeare, but
Yeah.
like
No,
it's
it
hard to break
is.
the curse. It's hard to break the curse of video games, and they did a pretty good job right here.
Yeah, I know, and I love that thing. He's like, hey, he's like, what's with the stash? He's like, you've got a kind of Professor Professor X and Monopoly Man type of look.
Who said that, Sonic?
Yeah. Oh, freaking back.
You okay there?
I mean,
Stretch it, man. Stretch it. My back. I gotta be careful. My job is slowly weighing away on me, and a lot of the older coworkers are like, yeah, we'll do that to you, man. You gotta be careful. This job will kill you. Like, just having the older guys not even say, the older guys aren't telling me man up. No, they're telling me you gotta be careful, man. This job will freaking wreck you. I'm like, thanks, man. Thanks for the vote of confidence in my future here.
yeah, that's why with this stuff, I think I'm pouring a lot of my time and energy into this.
Well, that's why we are happy to have you here, Joe. We are happy to have you in the stream. Gotta get you in here more often.
That's what I think we got to do. We got to have like a separate channel that's just Creekchasm. If we do it on like a joint like that, and then bounce back and forth in between channels, it'd be kind of cool.
Well, like I said, my only issue, and I'm gonna be honest with you, is that I don't want to keep spreading myself too thin. Like, okay, I'm trying to get my stuff off the ground, but I also want to do Creekchasm. But if I'm not making content that's mine, how can I even expect to do stuff for Creekchasm? And for those of you who are wondering, Creekchasm is the name Joe and I have been bouncing around for when we start doing like truly joint ventures, like our own website, our own company. But with that being said, we have ideas. We have ideas of like skits and like a universe of characters. But like, what is the purpose of Creekchasm? Is it to get us business? Is it like what is the purpose? And I'm that's my issue right now. It's like, okay, but like if I can't do that on my own channel, how do I expect to do that on a joint channel with you, dude? Because I'm like, it's just hard to like.
We just got to figure out a way to network.
Well, it's like trying to make a business. It's like trying to make a new business when your current business isn't even taking off yet. It's like, how do you expect to continue doing that if the old business isn't working? It's one of those weird things. Like, I want to do it for sure, but like, it has to be more than just coming up with characters. Because we could do that on our own channel. It's like, what is the purpose of Creekchasm other than advertising ourselves even further than what we try to do now?
Well,
like that's the real question.
Like I said, we can always poke fun at the cratering entertainment industry. I mean, you do with what's been going on now in the last like 5 years. I mean, you got comedy gold for like the next 3 decades. Like I watched the Kenobi series. I'm like, it's okay, but it's like they held back on purpose.
Yeah, I hear it's okay, and they luckily they gave the actor who played Anakin. He has a second chance of like making that character actually good, and it's not his fault. It was just the writing, but he has a second chance of like really getting in there.
Yeah, I mean, I was like if they should have gotten another actor to play an older version of him.
Nah, he's still older. If they're going for older, because remember, you can't go older. It's still. Which one, Kenobi or Anakin?
Yeah, I mean, someone made a a joke about it. I think it was a meme where he's like Obi-Wan Kenobi. He's like surely he must be dead by now. He's like you're old, and he's like bitch, you're older than him.
Yeah.
You know, you're closer to death's door than he is. And it was
I
Tarkin.
but I've seen the meme where it's like it's images of the actors and the time frame, right? So it's like Obi-Wan Kenobi as of right now, as the actor plays him. Anakin, I think, is like already like what 10 in the series. Not Anakin, sorry. Luke. I think Luke is like already 10 or something. And they're like, wait, he's 10 years old? So then it's like an image of the actor now of Obi-Wan versus the actor who played Obi-Wan in the original movie. It's like, man, the next 6 years must have been really rough on him.
Well, when he fought Vader and was burned and stuff like that, he was put into a bacta tank. And
now you're going into all the fine. They're just making fun of the fact that he doesn't look old enough to be old Ben Kenobi within the next 6 years.
I think when they did the whole fight, the first fight between Vader and Obi-Wan, the second first fight, they were trying to like how he had aged, like that, like those two fights aged him tremendously.
Okay.
I mean, the first one he lost, and the second one Vader lost.
You're talking about in the show.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the show, so I can't.
It's not bad, but I feel like they held back, and it's like they could have done a thing where they didn't face off, which I thought would have been made much more effective, where he just saw a silhouette of him but couldn't get close enough to him, sort of like a Carmen Sandiego type of thing.
Sorry.
Or like
I'm sorry. Just that comparison just threw me off a minute. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Where
I know.
in world is Carmen Sandiego?
Hey,
Where on earth can she be?
That was
Sorry.
a freaking awesome show. Yeah, don't knock it.
What was that?
That was an awesome show.
No, it was awesome, dude. That intro is so freaking good. It's animated very well. Okay, there's a thing about... I want to say there's a thing about 90s animation. Like, there's... What I mean is, like, there's sections, right? So anyone who grew up on Nickelodeon grew up with what some people refer to as the ugly cartoons. Arrow Monsters, As Told by Ginger, Rugrats, Rocket Power. They all had a really precise kind of, like, wiggly line to them that made them like the ugly cartoons. But if you look at like 90s cartoons, which was in truth a runoff of the 80s action figures style, you had Carmen Sandiego, a little bit of Gargoyles, X-Men definitely fits that category of like they weren't trying to be they weren't stylized characters. Like they were drawing characters that were meant to be pretty close to like actual anatomy. As opposed to like stylized cartoons like Steven Universe, Owl House, which are all fine, but it's hard for me to imagine a art style that's similar to, let's say, the real Ghostbusters, Carmen Sandiego, or the X-Men today. Unless it's specifically like a Marvel cartoon, like one of the Spider-Man series that ended like a few years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing. It's just, you don't really see that kind of style anymore. Because people want to tell stories more visually, and now they have the... since they don't have to always stick to action figure standards, they could stylize a cartoon however they want. And then the toy comes afterwards.
That's true. That's true. Oh, I like that parapet there.
Oh, which one on the...
The double-edged...
On the arm? Joe?
I like that. That's like his character.
Oh, hello? Yeah, my Discord jumped. You went silent, and then it like fast forward for some reason. Oh, I'm talking about on his arm, right? On his forearm?
Yeah.
Yeah, the basic idea for that is in Puerto Rico, the San Juan, the old fort. It has tons of these. In fact, I believe the license plate for Puerto Rico has like one of those towers on it because it's like a sniper tower. And the old San Juan wall, the wall that goes around San Juan, the actual fort, has tons of those. Or rather, ones that are similar to that. It's like a one-man sniper tower.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Sorry.
Dude.
Yeah? I can hear you now. What's up? Uh-oh. Something went weird. And judging by the image, I think Joe's phone went sideways. Yep. He might need to call us back. Well, we'll stand by and see what happens. Alright, we'll see what happens. We'll see what's going on with Joe in a bit. Hopefully he'll rejoin us. Yep, he jumped off. Alright, stand by, people. Maybe his phone died. Alright, we'll see. Yeah, so as of right now, it says Joe is offline. Don't know why. I could assume that maybe his phone died on him. We were using his phone for Discord. So hopefully he'll join us in a bit. Come back to us, Joe. We miss you. In the meantime, I'm just gonna, draw some wooden planks. Okay, let's see what we got here. Alright, let's see. Sorry, dude, my phone died. Yep, I figured it. Trying to recharge it now. If anything, we'll pick up another night. Alright, man, just keep me... Well, I'm going to keep this split screen in the for the meantime. Unless you're for sure just... I mean, if you're going to jump off... If you're going to jump off, dude, go ahead and jump off, man. I'll switch to my other setup. But yeah, man, thanks for joining us over here, dude. This was fun. Anyone watching this later on, please follow Joe, known as Cretorius Rex. Give me a second. Let me do this right. Logo. No. Boom. There it is. Woo! Text. Come on, unlock that text. There we go. Woo! So that's him. That is Pretorius Rex. You're gonna find that on Instagram. You're gonna of course see it on YouTube if you guys are not watching it here on YouTube. He has a YouTube account. That's where he uploads most of his videos. That's where we're trying to get him to upload most of his videos. But if you're looking for his artwork, go to Pretorius Rex on Instagram, and you'll be, I won't say happily surprised, because it's not a surprise. You'll be just happy to see his work. It is really zany, cool ideas of aliens and robots and creatures of unknown. A lot of it is traditional medium, just pencil, gouache, a little bit of watercolor. So definitely give him some love. Give him that love. Joe, do you think you will be joining us again, or should I just switch up the stream to my normal full screen? Let me know. In the meantime, I'm going to continue drawing, and I'm going to leave this image up. That way people can know who you are. Fact. Let me put some music in the background. Let's go back to our adventure music. You know what? Let me switch it up. Come on. There we go. There we go. Let me check my audio. Almost 11 o'clock, so I might call it soon, especially since Joe jumped off. There we got some good. Okay, good. Everything's good. Audio's good. Joe, once again, thank you for joining us, dude. It is near 11 o'clock. I think I'm gonna also call it soon. I'm just gonna see if I can finish this arm at least. I want to get his regular hand arm done. I gave him a giant fish hook for a thumb. That was a cool idea at the time. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. I should really find a better mount for my camera. Because I see it as I'm drawing. Sometimes it wiggles because I'm shaking the table too much. It's not even a better mount, it's a better mounting point. I need to find a better mounting point for my camera. That looks weird. Try again. So I want this connection right here to be a bundle of springs. It just doesn't look good to me though. Kind of works. looks good. Not bad, not bad. I guess coming along. I'm gonna have to do some rearranging with the feet though. I mean from the knees down, what you call knees. I need to like rearrange the positioning of them. Oh yeah. Just want to zoom in a bit. Alright. It's this big, like, iron skull that just sits inside the castle. Which is all separated into just numerous pieces. I don't know if the scale kind of works, you know, the size. Given the size of the windows, I guess, ideally, our hero would be about that. If not even smaller. Like she's like that. This is our hero right here. Our heroine. There we go. I guess you could say that's the general scale of her. Which of course will be exaggerated. When you're inside the robot, everything's much bigger. It's gonna be exaggerated. But that's a general scale for like this is who she is right here. This little tiny thing right here. You know, if I really wanted to stay, if I was really hardcore with the scale, it'll be completely different. The bricks would be smaller. The windows would be smaller. It'll just be completely different. But for right now, it'll stick. So the other arm, don't know how well you guys could see the blue pencil. It is just one giant tower with like the shoulder pivot just breaking out of it. Might put a little wind-up key on the side right here, not sure yet. It's a tower with a straw top, little chimney on the top. It then goes into a broken tower. The tower's like broken like this. You have all the mechanics sticking out of it. With a drill hand. And the legs are like I think in the end, yeah, it's just skeletal. Like I didn't. So the image that Joe showed us in that comic, the amulet, I think he said was called, like that was like a tank of a. It was like an actual like cathedral that just rose up. Not even a cathedral. It was more brick. It was more square like. It just rose up. It was a tank. This guy is like shambling, much more skeletal like. I like it. I forgot. I did draw a little brick falling off of him over here. I'm just looking around and see what little wobbly lines on one side of him. You know, just give a sense of like kind of, you know, this is motion, kind of sense of motion he has on him. Now imagining when it gets like, if it was animated, you would just have like the skull kind of rises out and you see at the top of the teeth. Kind of. So essentially there's a skull, right? And it has this gaping jaw just hangs out. So that whole piece, like the skull sits inside, then it just kind of rises up above it. So it'll be something like this. If I could click the right layer. Why is it? Why are you doing that? Stay. It's like that's the skull. And animated, it would just come out like from the inside of the chest, it would come out like that. That's kind of how I imagine it doing it. Like if it was animated. Kind of pulling a mummy, if that makes sense. Brendan Fraser's The Mummy. Let's get it here together. Hey, you know what? It's 11 o'clock. Let's call it. I'm calling it, people. Oh, this was fun. A little messy here and there, trying to get everything to work, but it was fun. Once again, big shout out, Joe. Thank you for joining. Everyone, check out Joe at Pretorius Rex. I should do a slideshow. I have my navigation window over there. I should have alternative window. There's a slideshow of like other artists and people you should follow. And whenever I step away from the computer, I should have a slideshow just going. So this has been, I don't know, the Castle Giant, or just the Giant, as we call it for now. The visual of the last stage for Clockwork Queen, where you are going to end up fighting up his leg, in his guts. Did I design? Yeah, I designed his heart first. I did design the heart, or the chest, that is. It was just, you know, a big bellow, like fireplace bellows for the lungs and everything, and a bell for the heart. Yes, I did do a stream of that. I believe I did a stream also for the stomach, which is a big pipe system of like acid pipes and everything. The main thing is doing the actual final stage, which is inside the brain, which I'm thinking I want to make it where it's the main villain in her throne pulling like levers and stuff, and like the top is just gears and gears grinding into each other, like almost interlocking each other, that take up the entire roof rather than like cross beams. And then behind her just organs, just like mechanical organ, like the instrument, not the body part. Yeah, imagining that being like, it's just like it's the brain. You're in the skull, so everything's just moving around. Gotta work on that design though. I gotta look up a lot of good reference for like just medieval and mechanical and industrial, and just kind of just drop a bunch of Photoshop stuff together and kind of see if I can figure it out. I'll figure it out. We will figure it out, people. Don't forget. Once again, I am Dante. like, favorite, share, subscribe, and all that good stuff. And I'll be seeing you in the future. Later.